To be able to understand the concept of electrostatics in grade 10, you have to first know that an atom is found in every object which we have on Earth. That's its definition, the smallest building block of matter, meaning that each and everything which we have here on Earth contains an atom in it. Remember that on our video when we discussed an atom, we said that it contains electrons, which are negative charges that are found on orbitals. Orbitals are just talking about these rounded things, and then it contains a nucleus which has got protons and neutrons in there. So that's just the basic introduction of an atmosphere, of an atom. So if you did not really understand what an atom is, please rewind on that video. The link is in the description. So today we're going to be talking about electrostatics. So electrostatics, let's just go to these points which I have compiled. It states that all materials which we have here on Earth contain positive charges and negative charges. So the positive charges are known as protons and the negative charges are known as electrons. So that is just basic, since every object has got what? Has got an atom. So it means it ought to have those electrons and those protons as well. So a neutral object has an equal number of protons and electrons and has no net charge, meaning that if an object is neutral, the number of electrons in it and the number of protons is equal to one another. So it's known as a neutral object. So it does not have an addition of any charge, meaning that the charge is zero. So if the charge is zero, it means an object is neutral. So a positively charged object has lost electrons, so it is otherwise known as electron deficient. Okay, let's say for example this atom you can see over here. If it loses this electron, you can see this blue electron over there. If it loses that electron, it remains with what? With a proton. Let's say that's a neutral object. Let's just make an example of a neutral object. Having here 1, 2, 3, yes, let's say 3 protons, and then it has got 1, 2, 3 electrons as well. So this is considered to be neutral since it has got an equal number of protons and electrons indeed. But what will happen if this electron is lost to another object? Therefore, this one will have less electrons because that electron has moved away from that position to the other position. So here we had initially 3 protons and 3 electrons. But because there's been an electron which has been lost, we remain with 2 electrons. So here it remains with 2 electrons. So it means that it has got what? An extra proton. So if it has got an extra proton, it is known as a positively charged object because protons are the positive charges. So a negatively charged object has gained electrons. So remember that there is a loss of electrons and a gain of electrons only. It's not possible for a proton to actually be lost from one object to another. So the charges that move are the electrons only. So here, if we've got a neutral object like this one, let's say we've got here that very same object with 3 inside and 3 outside. So this is neutral. But then if this object gains electron from another object, it becomes negatively charged. So for example, here we're having 3 protons and 3 electrons. The negative charges and the positive charges are equal. So here, if this object gets an electron, let's say from that one, and then gets an electron, there's an electron transfer, it means this one will have what? Will have now 4 electrons. So here there is a change in the number of electrons, meaning that this object here, which I've drawn in green, it has gained 1 electron. So it means that it's got what? 1 extra electron compared to the 3 protons that did not move inside the nucleus. So this is known as a negatively charged object because electrons are the negative charges. So if there are more electrons, the object is negatively charged. So a charged object can also be attracted to a neutral conductor because of the movement of charges in the conductor. So if we've got a conductor with moving charges in it, If we've got a conductor with moving charges in it, we can take a charged object. It can either be negatively charged or positively charged. So it can actually be attracted to that neutral conductor since the charges in the conductor are constantly moving. So a charged object can also be attracted to an insulator because of the movement of polarized molecules present in the insulator. So we're actually going to go deep further and explore as to exactly what an insulator is, what a conductor is. So charged objects exert forces on each other when brought closer together. So if we take a negatively charged object and then we take a positively charged object, they will actually attract each other when they are brought closer together. That's the exert forces. That is what it means. It means that when they are closer together, they exert a force on each other. So what kind of force are we talking about? So if we're having like charges, it can be either two objects that are both positively charged. They exert repulsive forces on each other. So it means that an object which is positively charged and another object which is positively charged, when they are brought closer together, they will actually be repulsive. They will actually not attract each other. So the opposite charges exert an attractive force on each other. So that's just opposite to the like charges. So if we're having a negatively charged object and a positively charged object, they will exert an attractive force on each other. So we're going to go deeper and explore more in our next video. Thank you for watching.